I want to talk to you about something that most small business owners go right past. Those simple flyers that your city or your county send out inviting vendors to a procurement workshop or a vendor training. See, I got one this week from the town of Davie, Florida. And here's what's wild. With all the talk about government shutdown, these events are still happening. In fact, I talked to a government buyer here in Orlando just yesterday and emailed her today. Why? Because local governments don't stop working. They still have budgets. They still have projects and they still need vendors, people like you to get the work done. At the end of the day, these budgets have to be spent. It's by law that they spend this money to help circulate the economy. You see, if there aren't contracts, then this actually puts a delay on how the economy circulates. So, in the midst of a government shutdown, there are contracts that are being awarded right now, and you might be missing them if you are paying attention to all the noise and not taking action on the opportunities available to you right now. So, I'm going to show you today in this video, I'm going to show you, I'm going to turn how to really see how to be a simple vendor. Take a simple vendor event like this and turn it into a contract opportunity. Before I do that, I want to give you context of what this actually looks like so that you know exactly what to look for. Okay. So I'm going to share with you my screen and share with you what it looks like. Okay. Share screen. There it is. Okay. So I got this from the town of Davie. I don't live in Davie, but I am registered as part of the way that I run my business. I have clients that are registered in this town of Davie, and so I support them with strategy and capture planning. So this popped up and it says vendor training, November 13th, 2025, which is next week. It's next week, guys. This says vendors interested in doing business with the town are encouraged to join the procurement division in person or online as we equip. Oh, you guys are not seeing it. Here we go. All right. Let's see here. That's better. Okay. As we equip you with the knowledge and ultimate toolkit to successfully provide services or goods for our community. The main topics. So, this is what they're going to cover. This is the agenda of the training. The main topics is to how to find our solicitations. Every municipality, every agency, whether that's a county, a city, a school district, they have their own procurement site. They have their own way of advertising this biz. This is why I recommend, highly recommend, getting a tool like my GovWatch. I'll make sure to put the link down below. And that way you get all of the notifications all in one place, opposed to having to register to a ton of them, right? But how to find these solicitations, you want to know their system. You want to know what the solicitations are coming. So they're also going to cover insurance and additional requirements. So, depending on what you sell, what services that you offer, they're going to tell you what requirements or what things that you need in order to bid a contract. Solicitation thresholds and differences. So, this is important as well, depending on how big your company is, if you have past performance, if you are, positioning to win a, just a micro purchase or a large acquisition contract, right? Like contract within the acquisition process. It all depends on how you position. So, going there and getting this information right from the buyer right from them will go so far for you. The other thing is maintaining your contract. So, how do you maintain a contract once you've gotten one? It's really important for me to share this with you. You If you stay in the game long enough in government contracts, and you might not be winning yet, but if you stay in the game, you will start winning. If you start iterating and using the GovCon sales strategy that I talk about, using that system, you will start winning because it's inevitable, because they see you and they want you to win. Because at the end of the day, their goal is to spend that money. They can't give it away. They can't save it for a rainy day or save it for another fiscal year or put it aside and ignore it. They have to spend the money based off the budget that they've already approved. So it has to happen. And the last thing they're going to talk about are common mistakes with doing business with them. This is so powerful. This is such an opportunity. If you haven't yet, started doing business with a local state, county, town, your airport, your any of those government entities, this is going to change the game for you. So, what do we need to do right now? What we need to do right now, the first thing so that you can get these notifications is I would recommend that you just start with one, right? You just want to start with your local municipality. So, where do you pay your water bill, right? Just start there, right? Find out if they've already had the training for their fiscal year or has it been scheduled, and put it on the calendar. The next thing that I would recommend you do is get registered on MyGovWatch. MyGovWatch will help you see those opportunities as they come so you never miss a contract that would be perfect for your business. Now, the third thing that I would recommend you do is to build relationships. So, Melinda, what do I do when I get there? What do I say when, you know, like when I, you know, ap- approach them or I attend this event? How do I bring a capability statement? Do I not bring one? Like, what should I have in hand? Well, one thing is you should have clarity on what you sell. If you sell 10 different things, even 5 different things, it is overwhelming. Know your premium offer, know the thing that you can sell easily and effortlessly, the thing you can talk about for hours on a time, the thing that you have tons of past performance for. This is so crucial because that is what's going to help them remember you. See, if you are a generalist and you say, oh, yeah, I do this, how are they going to remember all of those things? Simple scales, remember? So we want to focus on just one thing that you were known for, even if it covers many things, it's just one thing. So, for example, if you're in construction, you just say, I'm in construction, right? You don't need to talk about I need a renovation and new construction and then additions and fit ups and interior. Like, you don't need to say all of those things. You could just say, I'm in construction. Oh, but I know exactly who to connect you with, right? You want them to understand exactly what you do. If they linger, if they say, oh, well, that's nice. Oh, it was great meeting you, and they walk away, they're confused. So we want to avoid that from happening because there's other contractors there. There are other vendors just like you there looking for those few minutes with the procurement team. So here's what we're going to talk about a little bit more is how to actually use this as a value add for your planning. You see, while everyone else is focused on the government shutdown, and I don't mean to laugh, but oftentimes what happens is there are winners and there are people who don't win. Okay. And those that win are often focused on success. They're often focused on the thing. They're targeted. They're just like intentional, they're resilient, they just keep going. No matter what happens, whatever the output, they're just like, I'm going to get it. I will get it. I'm going to keep working on it. I can see it. It is not killing me, right? It's not hurting you to submit a bid. It's not hurting you to respond and build relationship, but many people are not doing it because they don't know where to start. This is a great opportunity to get started. I would not be surprised because I have participated in many virtual and in person vendor trainings like this, where they actually give you just kind of a taste or just a quick review of upcoming opportunities that are going to turn into contracts. Huge. Bring that question in. If they're not covering everything in the meeting about their budget and when they're going to be buying what you sell, ask the question. More than likely, you're going to be the only one that does. And that's going to help them remember you. You know, instead of focusing on the people that are there that could be a competitor or, that stuff, this is not the environment for that worry. These are people who more than likely have never done business with the government before. Okay. So, like, after a while, I mean, you just get familiar with this information. And it's more like this specific vendor training is an introductory program. So 100% ask all the questions that you want because that's going to help them remember you, right? We want that to be a memory. Now, once you get into the contracts themselves and you start bidding and you kind of want to be strategic. There's ways to be strategic about asking questions and so that your competitors don't really see where you're going with that. Your strategy, but in this environment of vendor training, this is where you want to ask every question under the moon. It doesn't matter if you think it's stupid or not, or it's really kind of I should know this, but I don't know this. Doesn't matter. Ask the question, get clarity on it. The other thing is to go ahead and get registered before the meeting. Like if you live in this town of Davie, or if you live in a city or a town and you see a training, you're like, oh, I'm going to go and get it right now. Make sure that you have 10 minutes to register your business for that agency. Do that ahead of time. Get familiar with the system. And if any questions come up, write them down so that you bring them to the meeting. This specific vendor training has a virtual portal, so you can join them in person or virtually. I will just say that this is going to be more common, in my opinion. I just based off what I've seen in the last few years, it's more common to get a virtual link to join virtually, but not every municipality, every local agency is going to have that option. So if they don't have it listed on their flyer or their information, just ask. Just say, hey, can I join virtually? Just ask the question. If you are going to join virtually, please be be present. There are these moments. I remember a client of mine was last year, and there was a vendor training he signed up for, and he brought his notes out, and then he got a text message, and that turned into getting on social media. He's scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. And mind you, I'm there with him. Like I'm on Teams with him. I'm on Teams, but he's on a different window of Teams. Like he's at his place and I'm at my place. But I can see him and he's scrolling. Now that's not the bad thing. Like just it's not that bad. But what is bad is what he missed. Afterwards, we met up and we talked about what did he capture? Like what information did you gather from the conversation? And he was like, "Oh yeah, I just like I saw this and I heard that and yeah, it was like no big deal, whatever." And I said, "Did you hear this?" And he said, "No. When did they say that?" That piece of information was important for how he was going to build relationship with that agency, and he missed it. Had I not been there, he would have really missed it, right? So when you're joining virtually, be present. Pay attention to how many people are joining virtually, how many people are in the room present. Make note of the questions that they're asking. Make note of any like logos you see on people's shirts or anything like that. This is very important information. We'll dive into this in another video, but this is a part of strategic development. Okay. These are things that A lot of amateurs are not doing, but the pros are already doing, and they're so ninja about it that they don't have to write it down. They're just like, oh, yeah, I see the same guy in the room, same time. Why do you want to do that? You want to get familiar with the players in the room. Whether they are in the same industry or not, you want to know who is doing business with the government. You want to know those vendors. You want to build relationship with them. You want to connect with them. Hey, do you want to do some coffee? Are you new to business? Right? This is an opportunity for you not only just to build relationship, but to potentially it might turn into a partnership. They might be a great affiliate or a referral for you, right? Referring business to you because they now know you. They know that you do business with the government, right? Keeping an eye out for you as you keep an eye out for them. So there's a lot of opportunities there. You just don't want to go in and focus on like what information, how can I talk to a government contracting officer or procurement officer? You want to actually just say, hey, I want to take a step back and I want to actually know who's in the room because it's as valuable as those that are presenting the information. All right. So, number one, do your homework. So, go to the city or county procurement page and download the event flyer. Put it on your calendar. Take the time off. Like, just make sure you're blocking the time. Now, typically, these events last like an hour. Sometimes they last an hour and a half or something like that. They're not too long. They have their slide deck. They go through these every year. So, they know what they're doing. I would just keep a little bit of fluff time in case you have an opportunity to bend their ear, and that way you're not pressured or stressed out for time. Definitely don't want to just show up on time and leave on time, right? You don't get the benefit of being in the room with them. Um, and now if you don't see one, email, call them for a flyer. Usually they have it on their website under doing business, or you might see like procurement or purchasing. Those are the three keywords you can look for on the state, local education websites. And then in my notes, I have an asterisk on this about bringing your capability statement. So in my experience, standard practice is to bring your capability statement. In my experience, bringing your capability statement to an event this way, if it's not dialed in, meaning that you don't have their commodity codes, not NAICS codes, not the federal codes, their commodity codes, right? So every agency, for the majority of agencies, they have their own way of filing services and goods. So you want to know their commodity codes. If that is not on your capability statement, do not bring a capability statement. It's going to go in the trash. The other thing that I would say is make sure that it's dialed in terms of value. If you're going to use an AI like ChatGPT or Claude to copy in there, just make sure that it's human and it's easy to read. This is not an opportunity to show how amazing you are. This is an opportunity to show how you can solve problems that you say you can solve and showing them the proof you've done it before. Okay. So if you don't have that, I personally would recommend not to bring a capability statement. If they ask you for one, just say you can follow up. What's your email? Grab their business card, give your business card, and then just follow up with an updated version of your capability statement based off the conversation, based off what they said, so that it's tailored to them. Okay. There's a strong argument that you, I mean, I argue that you need a capability statement per client because each client has different needs and different focus and different goals. So it's not just like one capability statement, right? You want to have one for federal. Federal has a different way of doing things, but state and local, that's SLED. SLED has a different way of doing things. So their whole goal is to spend money, but they're focused more on community and impact and transformation and those type of things versus federal has a different perspective on awarding contracts to small businesses. Step number three is come with questions. Come with questions, so you've already registered, you've reviewed your capability statement. You may or may not have completed a final or formal capability statement. That's okay. You can always build it up later on. But what other questions that you have? Ask them. It's okay. You're in a room of newbies. They're all learning too. So the more value you can bring in the room, the better you're off. You're not worried about competitors at this point because like everybody is a deer in headlights in that room typically. So it's just about asking the right questions to be noticed and then also to get clarity, to have confidence, to know, okay, I know what I'm doing when I bid for a contract with the town of Davie. One of the things that I say in my system, the GovCon sales strategy, when we get to the step number two, which is target, I say only focus on a limited amount of agencies at a time when you're getting started. Why? Because every agency of the 90,000 agencies has a different focus. Some may focus on sustainability, some may focus on healthcare, some may focus on, um, you know, just diversification. Some may help focus on veterans. Like there's just so many different missions out there, and even the cities that you live in. Like when my husband and I lived in Georgia, the city that we lived in had a specific focus to help with keeping everything focused on agriculture. We lived in North Georgia, so it was like agriculture, more like just farmland, things like that. That was their mission. It was very different from Atlanta, right? Where it's just like the metropolitan of Georgia, and it's just about sustainability and transportation and walkability, just like a different mission. So, because they have different missions, it'll be easier for you to sell because you want to build relationship with those buyers and understand if it's going to be in alignment with your culture of your business. One thing that I say about government contracts is not just one revenue stream. Like if you're just starting your business, and I would recommend not to rely your entire business on government contracts. It's very rare for a business to be sustainable long term. You can look at the stats, the data, long term on just government contracts. I always recommend to diversify your business with different revenue streams. So, selling to private sector along with selling to public sector or government. When you do this, now you have more authority to bring into government contracting. Now, when you position proactively for a contract that doesn't exist yet, right? You're months, if not years ahead. Now you know exactly the type of experience you need to win that million or multi-million dollar contract because you were prepared ahead of time regardless of, where you're located or what your services are, what your certification, none of that matters. What they care about is value, your expertise, and your merit in delivering. That's what they care about. So, how can you do that consistently, regardless of who's in administration? Okay. That is true. This is something that I've been doing for a very long time and helping small businesses at six and seven figures all the way to enterprise organizations. And it's the same plan no matter who's at the helm of those businesses doing business with the government, regardless of whatever they look like. It is about those three things. And so when we are positioning to win contracts, we want to position so that no one can say anything about how we do it. Like we're the authority. We're doing it for X, Y, and Z company. We could totally do it for the government. Here's how. Here's how we deliver. Not only that, but it streamlines your business, it builds consistency. Consistency means you're not stressed anymore. You're not a newbie business owner anymore trying to figure it out. You can step out of being the bottleneck and you can just stay focused on serving your clients. So, limiting the amount of agencies that you target in the beginning, just in the beginning, is going to help you build momentum. I recommend focusing on no more than 4 agencies. I know this is probably gonna rub a couple people wrong, but that's okay because I have success, and so I'm trying to help you leverage that 74% win rate that I have. State, local, education, and federal. Just four. Get one of each if you choose to, but no more than four, so that you can dial in your system for finding those contracts, for preparing for those contracts, for leveraging your private sector work for those contracts, for building relationship with the procurement officers, for going to the training events, for going to the vendor events, all that stuff, doing that stuff and saying, okay, all right, now you have an SOP and boom, you can put somebody into the system and it doesn't have to be you if you don't want to do it. Now you're not just like stretched thin and just responding to contracts and being reactive, because that is going to lower your win rate. You see that, right? Like you're just throwing spaghetti. You don't really know why they need it. You don't know where the money is going to flow to next or where it came from. You're just looking at the contract. You just want to make money. See, there's no strategy there. And so it increases your chances of losing. So, how to win government contracts. We're going to actually dive deeper into this in the upcoming GovScale Insider Masterclass. It's a free event that you can click on in the description and register for right now to secure your spot. But in the masterclass, we're going to talk about what to do to prepare for government contracts. We're going to actually get started today so that you can start to see those opportunities become contract awards for your business, so that you can stack on top contract after contract, win after win, and really just giving you that relief that you've been looking for, of consistency, of stability, of sustainability for your business. Just go ahead and click the link down below. If you are a construction, IT, engineering services, or professional services consulting business owner, and you want to go faster and you actually want to take it to the next level, you've already registered on SAM.gov, you got that, you got your certifications, and now you need a roadmap that's proven to work for businesses like yours. Go ahead and click the link down below. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.